The Oblivion Remastered is real.
I knew it.
It's here, it's amazing, and I can't stop playing it, but there are several mechanics that have changed or brand new content that's been added and more additions that you should be aware of. So today we'll go through some mistakes to avoid, some tips, and more. Let's go! Let me know anything cool you've come across in the Oblivion Remastered in the comments down below. We'll start with custom classes, as this is a mistake, but it's not the same kind of mistake that it was in the OG Oblivion. So in OG Oblivion, it was often better to balance your minor and major skills with skills that you wanted to level because you needed both minor and major skills to actually like level up. In the remaster, you simply just need any 10 skills to hit the level up point and then sleep, but it is still beneficial to have some of those major, in quotation marks, skills that you're going to use regularly in the minor skills section, especially for the early game, because they'll level up faster, so you get those early levels a little bit quicker. So major skills will give you an extra 20 points of starting in that specific skill. Now they do level up faster generally across the board, but it is kind of slower when you think about it just in that early stage of the game when those higher levels, because it's higher, it takes more experience to level up, and if you just want to grind some early levels, it's definitely the easier way to go. And you can do this by creating your own custom class. When you do get asked what class you are, you can create a custom class and determine what attributes you want to choose, as well as the major skills you want to pick as well. And then you'll be able to get some of those early levels a little bit quicker if you pick skills that you're going to be regularly using as minor skills. You don't miss out on anything by having them as minor or major. Birth signs is another thing as well. Now birth signs provide buffs, either active or passive, along with the potential for some negative effects like the apprentice. If you know exactly what build or archetype you're aiming for, the choice here can be kind of simple, right? Like say if you're going to make just like a warrior brute, then pick the warrior for the fortifying endurance and strength, or say a mage, you might want to improve your magicka, or say, you know, if you're just not really sure, you could go something like the steed for movement speed or the lord for damage reduction. I personally just think the thief is like overall, if you're really not sure what option to go for, or you just kind of want to just a standard across the board option, the thief's a pretty good option, especially now that agility, by the way, in the remaster, agility will also give damage bonuses to bows, short swords, and daggers, whereas in the OG Oblivion, everything was tied to strength. It's now split between strength and agility. So if you want to be more of a ranger, more of a thief, then actually putting those points into agility will benefit you in the long run as well. Now, tied into the whole leveling thing is don't hunt for uniques at the start of the game. Now, there are plenty of guides out there, as you know, us being guides creators do, we ruin games for everyone. And because Oblivion has been a game that's been out for a long time, everyone's put out a bunch of legendary guides and how to find all the cool gear. But something you may not know in Oblivion is that the gear that you pick up, like the effects on that gear, are tied to your level when you find that piece of gear. So an example here being Chill Rend, which I'll tell you how to get this sword in a second, but essentially here, if you get this sword at level 1, what you can see here is when looking at its stats, it has a frost damage on strike of 5 points, weakness to frost on strike of 10% for 20 seconds. It does 3 damage, but that damage number is a little bit dependent on like your skills and everything like that, but that damage is quite low. So if you picked up this sword at level 20 after completing that exact same quest, doing nothing different, just being level 20, it has 9 damage overall, but its frost damage on strike is 16 points, and the weakness to frost on strike is 30% for 20 seconds. So you can clearly see that the damage numbers here will net you differently, especially that increase by the weakness to cold is way different. Now, if you want to get this weapon at the start of the game, you totally can, but in order to do this, you'll need to go to Corel, which is one of the cities you go to. It's just right above Wayne and Priory, which you go to as part of the main quest. Go into the inn there and talk to the Valis Odell gentleman. He'll tell you about a quest with his sons. You just need to go and do that quest, which is like literally just outside at a local farm. Just make sure that both of his sons survive, and at the end of that quest, he'll give you Chill Rend. But I do recommend you don't do this immediately. Wait until you've leveled up a bit so these weapons are actually usable in the long run rather than just at the very start of the game, because you will just out damage them and out level them if you pick up all of the best legendary gear right at the start of the game when you're level 1. All right, enough horsing around. Something else I wanted to point out is that fast traveling is in Oblivion. You can fast travel to any city at any point right from the second that you step out into the world. Now, there is a couple of reasons that maybe you will want to do this, like if you just want to go and like mainline a particular faction quest or something like that. But basically here, I do recommend just to explore the world, because there is so much in between these like quest points of interest that you may go to if you're just fast traveling everywhere, fast traveling to the cities you need to go to. And if you just continually fast travel around, your quest log will get quite large very quickly, with a ton of quests that you have no idea where you picked up or like how they actually started in some cases. And it's very easy to get lost in Oblivion by just fast traveling everywhere, and it's something that might turn you off the game. Do recommend take it a little bit slower. One thing to point out, Clairvoyance is a new spell that was added that can help you navigate to your quest objectives. Doesn't sound that useful, but it is super useful in dungeons, caverns, ruins, all that stuff that are quite deep and maze-like, that don't have like a clear loop like the dungeons do in Skyrim. You can use that to find the way out quite quickly. And just to help you at the very start of the game, you can get a horse by fast traveling down to the Chestnut stables at the Imperial City and go and talk to Snack the half-orc, and by asking for a horse and horse armor and saying any old horse will do, she will give you the old nag with horse armor. So you've just got a horse right at the start of the game. You will get one early in the main story anyway, but if you want to get one with the horse armor immediately, you can do that as well. When you're in the vendor menu buying and selling goods, you can actually haggle with all of the vendors in the game, increasing how much you can sell things for and decreasing how much you buy things for. So anytime you're in that menu, you'll see underneath like the list of items there's a haggle. You press that, it'll bring up like a radial wheel between easy and hard. You can move that wheel as far to the right to make it hard on that section as you like, and you'll know once the vendor will allow you to buy items if you try and sell them, and they won't. You'll just need to continually move that bar down a little bit until they will. Now you can increase your disposition with the vendor through that persuasion minigame, more on that in a second. That will allow you to increase that wheel a little bit further, as well as your mercantile skill will definitely help with that as well. If you want to know how to increase your mercantile skill quickly, or all of your skills like rapidly in the game, go and check my skills video, which I'll link right here for you. But increasing that haggle bar as far as you can, very beneficial to lower the prices, especially of some of the really expensive like unique items that vendors sell if you are going to buy them, because some of them are quite good. Just do consider lowering that to save yourself some gold, or get yourself more gold from selling items to them. So speaking of that persuasion minigame, just a quick tip on how this all works. Essentially, when you are looking at this minigame, you want to hover over the 4 options and pay attention to the NPC's face. The option that they love, they will smile broadly. The option they like, they'll smile a little bit. Then there'll be one that they dislike, that like they'll screw up their face a little bit. Then there'll be one they really hate and they'll really screw up their face. Essentially, the way this game works is you will need to keep repeating this game and choosing the bars based on the option. The one that has 4 bars will net you the most or the least disposition based on where it is on that radio wheel when you click it. So obviously you want to pick the option that the NPC loves when it has 4 bars, and the options that the NPC hates when it has 1 bar, because it will affect it the least. And you'll essentially need to do this a couple of times, or you can just bribe them to increase that disposition. Now the reason that this is important is because there are specific quests, including one of the new quests in the game, but there are quests that having a higher disposition and having that NPC like you, they will tell you new information that'll help you progress in that quest, learn new things, or even give you particular items. A really good example that's early in the game is at the Alswyn small little town that you can find just above the Imperial City. When you get here, everyone will be invisible. There'll be a quest to complete. Now, to make everyone like uninvisible, you'll need to cast a spell that a particular NPC gives you. Now, if you don't have a high disposition with this NPC at the time, they will just give you the spell. You can go and cast it, and it will actually drain your luck significantly. However, if you do this persuasion minigame, increase that disposition, they'll give you a ring that will protect you from your luck being dropped in that way. There are other examples, but I just wanted to point that one out. And by the way, if you do this quest in that inn, you'll get access to a free bed and a free chest that you can store items in and sleep at any time you like until you can get yourself a house. The lockpicking minigame is another annoying one. So essentially, just a couple of tips here to point out. When you like tab up the tumbler, there is 3 different speeds that it can go up at. There's like a fast, a medium, and like a slow. Now, when your security is really low, you do want to pay attention to that slow speed. It'll give you more of a window to lock it in place. You can lock it in place at any speed. It just requires you to time it correctly. Now, the auto attempt is kind of useless until you level up your security. And if you do want to know how to level that up quickly, check out that skills video video I mentioned earlier, but also there are spells that can just simply unlock these for you. So whether you're a mage or you just want to skip the minigame entirely, there are spells that you can use to unlock these that you can buy from either the Mages Guild, or if you have got the Dunbarrow Cave home, which I did also talk about in that video as well. The security expert upgrade here will then allow you to buy all of these spells from him, and then you'll be able to use them if you do have enough alteration skill to be able to cast them. There is also a skeleton key, but that is a story for another time. Rumors are a fantastic way to find new content in Oblivion. Anytime you arrive at an inn, new locations, anywhere, ask these NPCs for rumors, as they will unlock new quests or point you in the direction of possibly finding new quests, as there's often a lot of information you can learn about them, or just information about what's happening in the world based on events that you have been progressing through the main story or something. And you'll also get quests sometimes just by passing time. So sometimes if certain things happen, or you've done a whole bunch of things, sleeping and leveling up, or just passing time, can actually have like NPCs or couriers or something just like come and find you and give you content. So if you're not sure what to do, spend some time in an inn, get those rumors, sleep, level up, do that stuff. Eventually you'll find things to do. In that same vein, not a mistake per se, but there is new content in the remaster that I'd hate for you to miss. Now, to get access to it, you do need to purchase the deluxe edition or the upgrade. There are 2 new quests that are added that both come with an armor set and weapons that you can get at the end of completing them, that are both different, and they also come with horse armor as well. The first is a wound in time. This is unlocked after the Kvatch mission, where you save Kvatch from the Oblivion Gate. There will be a old man just like standing in the Kvatch town area. By talking to him, you'll get a quest called a wound in time, which will send you to a ruin to the west of his location. You need to go to this location, and I won't really spoil the whole quest for you, considering it is like one of the only new content, but just follow the quest chain. At the very end of that quest chain, going back and talking to him, you will have the option to choose the armor and the weapons. Now, you have an option to pick any weapon or any armor. Everything is just free here, and you can get multiple copies of it. Heavy armor, light armor, any type of weapon that you want, you can grab it. None of this has any value, so there's no point in selling it, but it is good looking gear that is well worth getting, especially for that like early mid game, because it's quite quality gear that'll get you through those early stages. And the Burning Trail is another one. Now, you can get this from a rumor, but if you just want to start it, you need to go to the Talos district in the Imperial City and interact with the Mythic Dawn pamphlet that you'll see just near the statue as you enter the Talos district. This will start that quest chain. This one requires a little bit more work, a little bit more sleuthing, as there are some like clues that you'll need to follow here to like find the various pamphlets at the different shrines. Now, the one step that I will sort of spoil for you is that you'll need to go to Bravel, where the old lady statue is, as that one did stump me, as I couldn't figure out where to go for that. But then the rest of the quest, I'll let you figure out yourself at the end of the quest. At the end of the quest, you'll then be able to summon an NPC that'll do the exact same thing as the Order NPC, but will give you the Cataclysm set, heavy or light, and any sort of weapon that you want, and you can grab as many copies of these as you like, just another different set. I'm curious to know which set you guys like best, the Order or the Cataclysm. I think I like the Order, except I don't really like the helmet, but they both look really cool, and it's nice to get some new content in Oblivion as well. But that is all I have for you today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching this video till the end. Thank you to our members for supporting the channel. My name is Norza, and I hope you have a great day.